Please welcome Philip Collison.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to VerkadaOne. I couldn't be more excited to be here with all of you today, and I can't wait to share everything that our team has been working on. Now, before we get into any of that, there's a little change that I have to talk to you about. So in all the marketing materials, you've seen the marketing of the Cloud Physical Security Conference. And that's cool. The cloud is important. We will talk about that too, but mainly in the context of our competitors needing to catch up to be in the cloud, where we already are with our software. Today, though, it is 2025. And so the theme of today's show, as you will see, is definitely all about physical security, and it's definitely all about how AI is going to transform our industry and deliver the power of AI to physical security everywhere in the world. Now, if this is your first VerkadaOne event, VerkadaOne is all about bringing our customers, partners, and engineers together with the simple goal of sharing ideas, sharing the kind of insights we can't put publicly on our website, so we'll give you a lot of insider information here today, and inspiring the future of our industry. Now, of course, the most important people in this audience are our customers. It is my honor to stand here in front of almost 900 of you who are customers of Verkada. And it's almost a matter of tradition now. I'm going to ask everyone who's bought Verkada, is trying Verkada as a prospective customer, let's have you stand up and let's get some light on the audience. I'm gonna keep you standing, stay standing. That was super lame, guys. That was super lame. I have investors in the audience, I have media in the audience, I have my own parents in the audience. Let's give our customers a real Verkada welcome. Let's dial in our offices from around the world to give them a welcome. Now that's more like it. Now I feel like you might actually spend some money with us, so thank you for that. So next order of business. As you just saw, our global team has gotten quite big. We've got 17 offices all around the world, and all of that is to service all of our customers. Those of you who are here today, and the more than 33,000 customers that we service all around the world. Now, one of the things I am most proud of as I stand here on the stage in front of all of you is the quality of product and experience that we've been able to deliver to you, maintain, and get even better over time. So to date, our customer NPS score is 54. We'll talk about what an NPS score is in just a second, but the short secret is it's quite high. And in fact, if you look at our most mature product category, which is cameras, that score is as high as 67. So now what is an NPS score? It's a standard metric used in industries to evaluate products, and the scale is actually from negative 100 for products that are hated, all the way to positive 100 for the best products in the world. And I feel pretty good about our 54 to 67 range, as it stacks us in comparison to some of the very best companies in the world. Apple, Google, Amazon, we're in the right crowd. Now, you might be sitting in the audience and you might actually ask yourself the same question that I ask Brandon, our head of product, all the time, which is like, well, how do you collect these surveys? And maybe there is bias in these surveys and so on and so forth. How credible is that? And so I have another chart to share with you, which is definitely an insider chart and taken from our investor deck. And it's one of my favorite graphs of Verkada. This is a chart that shows customer cohorts over time. So each line represents a customer or a group of customers that bought in a certain year. And what it's basically showing you is every year a customer who spends X in year 1, doubles that spend by year 2, triples it by year 3, quadruples it by year 4, and it keeps going for as long as we have data. Not only that, vertically you'll see each year customers are spending more with Verkada on their initial purchase because they're buying into our platform. Now, we weren't always a platform, and so let's talk about the chapters of Verkada growth and where it is going in the future. So first, we started with a very simple idea. We wanted to make a camera product that was cloud connected, didn't have a need for NVRs, and could just work in any browser. Now, I'm proud today to say that not only we delivered on that camera product, we are actually the #1 company in video security. Not only that, we've also passed the milestone of being #1 in cloud access control. But as proud as I am of these two accomplishments, what's actually even more impressive and exciting to me is the fact that in the short 9 years of our company, we were able to move the broader physical security to the cloud. If you go to any of our large physical security conferences, cloud is the theme, and I am proud that it is Verkada that started that migration for the world. Now, the next chapter in Verkada's journey, after building our connected video security products, was to build our platform. So we started with cameras, then we said there are many products that we want to put together in a unified single pane of glass platform. We built access control, alarms, and intercoms, to name a few. Over the last couple of years, I'm proud to say that over 77% of our customers now use 2 or more of Verkada's product categories, really showing that the platform story is resonating and is working. And in fact, if you look at the charts, it's 77% for 2 or more products, and it continues. It's 52% for 3 or more products, and it keeps going to 4+ products, it's 26%. So customers are buying more and more of our Verkada platform and using all the products together in a single, beautiful, unified experience. Now, the last bit of our journey of building the platform has been to open this platform to third-party software integrations. To date, we integrate with hundreds of third-party software systems, and with devices like our Cloud Connector, which we introduced just about a year ago, we can even bring third-party infrastructure into the Verkada ecosystem. So with all of this, let's turn to one of our customers, Terawatt, and watch a quick film on how they use Verkada.
Welcome to Terawatt, delivering high-performance EV charging infrastructure for the world's top autonomous, freight, and logistic fleets. Managing sites across 18 states with a rapid growth rate isn't everyone's cup of tea, but for Tom, it's a routine he must master.
Yeah, so our biggest priority here at Terawatt is protecting our perimeter, and that helps to protect all of our clients. Nobody can come onto these facilities and touch their equipment, touch their vehicles, or get access to any of their cargoes. We actually did have some issues. We had vandalism, we had some equipment that was stolen, and we were reaching the limitations of sort of a single guard on, say, a multi-acre site that may have multiple buildings and structures. A single person can't cover all that area.
And that's when Tom switched to Verkada Alarms, which integrates seamlessly with cameras, access control, and intercoms.
So Verkada's platform gave us a unique advantage, an alarm system that's able to use cameras to detect intruders. This way, perimeter protection becomes way easier. Now, if someone hops a fence, my team gets notified. They can check footage and decide whether or not to call the police in under 1 minute.
That peace of mind isn't just about seeing, it's about responding.
Yeah, we use the talk-down speakers whenever there is an incident. Our operators and our network operating center effectively scare away that individual, so they are aware that we do see them, they should not be here, and we are dispatching the police.
Why visibility is just the start. What matters next is knowing what to act on.
One of our locations is sort of an urban area right next to an elementary school. So pretty much any time the children were playing soccer next door, they would actually be triggering those alarms even though somebody wasn't trying to cross the fence. Getting the latest advancements in AI has been really great. The upgrade to using the line crossing function actually made a huge difference. That feature was sort of rolled out overnight. We recalibrated all of the cameras to a line crossing function rather than an area crossing function. Now we know that if the alarm does trigger, that it's actually somebody trying to break our perimeter. We know that our security systems and our perimeter perimeter alarms are going to be sort of cutting edge, and that makes us more competitive across the costing perspective as well as the quality of security that we can offer.
The result? Reduced insurance liability and guard costs have been significantly lowered.
We love it, and we spec it into every build.
Now, I love this terawatt story for several reasons. First, the personal reason. This is one of the customers I've had the privilege to go work with directly. We flew on site with the team. We were setting up their cameras. We were figuring out how to make the site work, and we're trying to solve their problems. So this is some of our team working in, I think this was their Los Angeles site that Tom was actually talking about briefly in the video. And of course, when you're testing a site, you have to check everything. And of course, I had to, I think, jump a fence to make sure the camera was detecting it. So whatever it takes is what we do with the team to keep sites secure and make sure our technology works. Now, the second reason that the terawatt story is amazing is their problem is actually quite difficult. They're monitoring outdoor sites, large outdoor vehicle charging stations for autonomous and electric vehicles from commercial fleets. They're open 24/7, so people can come and go, and legitimate traffic of cars that need charging can enter and access the area, including in some cases lounges where maybe some personnel can go and get a coffee, refreshment, or so on. And last but not least, of course, they have high-value assets. The cars themselves, but also infrastructure, chargers, so on and so forth. And so when we first talked to them, they were actually in disbelief. They didn't think that we could solve this problem, and it was truly a tough problem to solve. And the first things that came to mind were, well, we could hire guards, and guards could patrol the sites, and they were thinking about that. But that gets very expensive, and on large sites, that requires a lot of guards. And of course, the alternative was live video monitoring. But again, from a cost perspective, that's very difficult to implement. It's very hard to have people watching video feeds from hundreds of cameras all at once. Now, the last bit of it, which is the last reason why I thought this was an exciting case study, was they embraced the power of the full platform. So they were open to not just starting with cameras, but embracing our alarms and intercoms and access control and tying it together. So naturally, we were excited. We're like, let's go. Let's build this. Let's make this good. And shortly thereafter, we had Terawatt in command. And so, of course, this is our familiar web interface. And here's Terawatt's site. And we couldn't be more excited to get this up and running about a year ago or a year and a half ago. Now, to our surprise, we launched it. We equipped it with alarms. And it didn't go quite as we expected. Initially, they had 175 alarms in their first month. That's a lot of alarms. That's almost 6 alarms a day, causing headaches, waking up Tom, waking up his team. And it was alarms that were being triggered by events that didn't really need attention or didn't really need dispatch. Turns out it's hard monitoring outdoor areas. But the team iterated very rapidly on some of our AI approaches to mitigating that. We'll talk about that a little bit more in today's presentations and launches. And where we got to within the next couple of months was we got to no false alarms. And Tom now gets, on average, 3 alarms a month per site with clear video of any intruder or anything that's going on. Now, this is a perfect segue to the next chapter in Verkada's journey. And yes, you guessed it, the next chapter in our journey is AI. We've been investing in artificial intelligence since the beginning of the company, and we're excited to have reached a point in time where AI is accelerating at such a phenomenal rate that we can bring this technology to all of you seamlessly in command. We started with experiences like our AI-powered search, and for many of you, this is a search experience that makes it easy to retrieve footage in command. But for us, it's a foundational technology that allowed us to build the building blocks upon which we will deliver much more functionality, some of which you will see today. And to give you a sense of that investment and that commitment to AI and how much data our systems are processing, today, in the busiest days, within a single hour, we will process as much as 20 million images. 20 million images from our camera fleet processed per hour, delivering insights in real time to all of our customers. And to put our money where our mouth is, over the next couple of years, we're investing over $250 million in AI infrastructure and infrastructure to continue operating Command. We can't wait to bring all of that functionality to all of your Command instances. Now, artificial intelligence oddly has the word artificial in it, and I don't like focusing on that. What's interesting to me is the advent of artificial intelligence is actually on the cusp of creating the most intuitive human-computer interface. For the first time in our lives, we can have a conversation with the computer. For the first time in our lives, computers and smart devices can be fully aware of everything that's going on in the world around us. And that will lead to profound impacts on many industries, and certainly on our physical security industry. In fact, I stand here with a firm belief that the combination of AI and physical security professionals will lead to super intelligence in the world of physical security. That, in turn, will create safer buildings, safer cities, safer schools for the next generation, and finally, safer communities for all of us to thrive and live in. With this, I've said enough. I know you're all here to see the wonderful demos and everything that our team has prepared. So let's start the show. Let's see how Verkada will deliver AI everywhere in the world. Thank you.
Give it up. All right, who's ready to see some product announcements? Folks, my name's Pete Payson, and I lead our product management team for connectivity and sensors. We started our connectivity product line with a simple yet powerful mission: to extend the Verkada security perimeter to hard-to-wire locations. That means that we're making sure that Verkada can protect your environment wherever it is. And we built our gateway products to be the easy button for these hard-to-wire locations. A single, elegant device that can provide power over Ethernet anywhere that you have a cell signal or Wi-Fi. But what's really incredible about our gateway products is not the fact that they're just bringing connectivity to these hard-to-wire locations. It's the fact that you're bringing Verkada's AI insights to those hard-to-wire locations. You're bringing the ability to make intelligent decisions to these hard-to-wire locations. And making that easy has really resonated with our customers to the point that we're now Verkada's fastest growing product line. We're well on our way to making sure that Verkada's available everywhere. But what all of these locations that you're seeing on the screen have in common is that you're trusting Verkada to protect your most important people and places. So it's our responsibility to provide a reliable connection to the cloud 24/7, 365. And we take that really seriously. We've obsessed over adding redundancy into every layer of the product. For instance, our data plan can automate the failover between carriers when one has an outage. So if you're on Verizon, we'll automatically fail you over to AT&T or T-Mobile. And at the hardware level, we also support automated failover between SIM slots. And collectively, you see got ahead of myself, we've prevented 80,000 carrier outages for our customers over the course of the last year. That's the type of simplicity and reliability that we're designing for with gateways. Now, I want to take a little bit of time to focus on all of the interesting use cases that we've seen gateways deployed. And when we launched the product line about a year ago, we intended that most of the time they'd be deployed into pole and building deployments. And while that's certainly the case, what's been really interesting has been to see all of the use cases you've come up with that we didn't even expect. Like one place that I did not expect them to be deployed is onto forklifts. But with the launch of our Wi-Fi gateway, we're seeing a growing number of logistics and manufacturing customers use our Wi-Fi gateway and cameras to monitor driver performance, respond to incidents and crashes, and ultimately use that footage to better train their employees. Now, another one that started to explode in usage is Verkada for security trailers. And our partner community was actually the first ones to figure this out. You could have a best-in-class security trailer simply by putting Verkada cameras on it. And if you think about it, that kind of makes a lot of sense, because we've spent years simplifying the investigation process for how you can get insights out of these incidents. The challenge, though, is that you've got a solution that can be used in a whole lot of different contexts, like helping police departments deter crime, like helping outdoor companies, like construction companies and parking lots, monitor their outdoor areas, and help event spaces provide a temporary security solution that helps them monitor their outdoor spaces. The challenge, though, is that when you have a security trailer, there's still a lot that goes into building one of these. You have to think about how you're going to size the power system for your trailers and how you're going to mount all of your different devices on there. And ultimately, you're left with a bunch of trailers out in the field that you need to think about how to operate over time. So it got us thinking, what if there was an easy button for security trailers? And with that, I'd like to introduce the MT81, the new Verkada cloud-managed security trailer. Now, the MT81 is a tank. It has a 1,600-watt solar system, and it comes pre-wired for Verkada devices. And as you can see here, we've integrated it as a new resource into Command. Let me draw your attention up to the new icon at the top of the screen. In Command, you can monitor your trailer's live locations. You can also see key information about them, like their power levels, including their battery capacity, their solar input, and their power usage over time. You can also view how this changes over time to optimize for your environment. You can view your connected cameras and take advantage of all of their insights, like license plate recognition. And we've already seen customers start to take advantage of these things, like Terawatt, who you heard from earlier, deployed our security trailers and used a PTZ context trigger in Sentry mode to identify what I think is, at best case, an intruder on their lot, and at worst case, somebody up to something far more nefarious. Now, the MT81 is available for order starting September 30th. It comes in two different configurations, a 6 kilowatt hour configuration for sunny environments and a 13 kilowatt configuration for cloudy environments for $58,000 and $65,000 MSRP. Both have an associated cloud license, and that allows you to get continuous updates on your trailer and improve those over time. Now, if you're curious what an MT81 looks like, I couldn't get one on stage, but we've got one deployed in the exhibit hall after this presentation, so you can go check it out and get a demo for yourself. Now, before I wrap up today, I want to talk about one other use case that we've seen explode in usage, and that's Verkada for vehicles. There's about 700,000 buses in North America, and most of them are secured using old school DVRs. That means that when an incident happens, there's no way to get your footage until the bus returns from its route. You're left having to go out to that bus, unlock the DVR, pull a physical drive, insert it into your laptop, and then fast forward through the clips until you finally find the relevant insight. We heard from our customers that this can take quite literally hours per investigation, so it got us thinking again, what if there was an easy button for these bus deployments? So we went out, we visited a ton of customers, both school districts and public transit authorities. I think I've been on hundreds of buses at this point, and we found that there's two things that make designing for buses really difficult. The first is that buses turn off at the end of the day, so you need a way to access their footage even when the bus goes offline. The second, and it's kind of obvious, but buses move around. So the types of investigations that you want to do are going to be different than with fixed site security. You might know where an incident occurred, but not necessarily when it happened. And while it's moving, you of course need a reliable connection so that you can get footage. I'd love to show you a couple of the things that we've done to improve investigations for vehicles. And we've done this in partnership with Clovis Unified School District and the Golden Gate Bridge Highway and Transportation Authority for the footage that we'll be showing today. The first thing we've done is marry the GPS video from our gateways with the camera footage from your cameras. That allows you to scrub through video based off of location. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, what if I want to search across my entire fleet of buses? And for that, we're introducing GPS video search. GPS video search allows you to search across an entire fleet of buses for a given location. So let's assume I'm that fleet manager, and I've got an incident that happened. I'd say I've got a report of vandalism at a bus stop at 1011 Anderson Drive. GPS video search allows me to look through all of the buses across my fleet, surface footage from nearby that location, and ultimately investigate each one side by side. Now, when I find a suspect, I can use all of my normal camera capabilities, like setting POI alerts, so that I can automate the process of detecting that individual again in the future. Now, the last thing I want to show to you today is cell coverage maps. Now, cell coverage maps, you might wonder while you're testing these features, is what if I have how do I know that I have a reliable connection to the cloud throughout this route? And cell coverage maps allow me to visualize the data from the carrier signal data from throughout my route to troubleshoot and choose the right carrier for my bus route. And what you'll see on this route is that even in those locations when I have a low cellular signal, the footage still comes back clear. And that's because we always store camera footage locally on the device so that when cell coverage returns, you can get an active stream. Now, these are just a few of the ways that we're making sure that Verkada can secure your environment wherever it is. Thank you, and we can't wait to see you make use of these features.
Hello, VerkadaOne. It is incredible to see this room filled with so many of our customers and partners. I'm Abraham Alvarez, Vice President of Product over Cameras and AI. And over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through our vision of what physical security should look like. Now, for too long, physical security has been defined by looking backwards. You've had to piece together fragmented clips and scattered data. Every critical incident that happens on your property has a story. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. But often, we are left trying to piece together scattered pages, trying to reconstruct the full narrative. It is slow, it is manual, and often it is incomplete. Our vision at Verkada is to give you the whole story, instantly, from the moment a person or vehicle enters your property to the second that they leave, all in one seamless, unified view. In fact, let me show you what we think security should be. And we'll use a common scenario, a fraudulent return at a retail store. Now, our story starts not after the fact with a report, but with a real-time insight. You get an alert. A potentially fraudulent return is happening right now. You click it, and instantly you're in command, watching the event unfold live. Now you freeze the frame, and you see a man in a hoodie. And even though you can't see his face, what if you could simply click on him? Instantly, you would see clips of where they were detected across all of your cameras. But since we're envisioning the future, why stop here? Let's take this one step further. What if you could see not just the clips, but their entire journey visualized across your entire floor plan? Now let's follow their path to the very first clip, and this is them getting out of their car in your parking lot outside. Now in the old world, this is where your story would end. But what if the system could automatically add the car? Instantly, their timeline should be added to our timeline as well. And because you have a solar-powered LPR camera on your perimeter, the license plate appears, becoming the first sentence of our story. Pretty cool, right? Let's take a step back. In seconds, we would have a single continuous narrative. We'd have the plate, the car, the person, their entire journey. What takes a team days to piece together, we think should be done automatically. This is the future that we envision. Now, show of hands, how many of you here would like to have this future? I know that I would. Well, I am stoked to say that this future is no longer just a vision, because we've actually made this a reality. And today, I'm thrilled to announce the AI-powered unified timeline. You want to see how it works? Let me show you. All right, so we're going to go into command, and I'm going to search for a suspect. And in this case, it's going to be a man wearing a red jacket. So I'm going to scroll through my results, see if I can find my suspect, and oh, here it is. I see my suspect. And even though the suspect looks suspiciously like me, I want us to ignore that for a second. But now, watch as I click on this person, and this actually launches our new experience inside of command. Now let me walk you through what you're seeing here. On the left of the screen with the player, you can now see a map. And this map maps not just your inside of your building, but also your parking lots and the outside of your perimeter, bringing all of your cameras into one location. Below that, you can go ahead and see the timeline. And below that, you see all of the clips that the AI timeline automatically found of my person. And now when I play it back, you're going to be able to go ahead and even do granular controls. Like I'm going to go ahead and do this at 3x speed, so we can watch the start, and we can see our suspect making their way around the building. They just tailgated, and now they are inside of our building, trying to figure out what they can do. And now let me slow it down. We'll play this back at regular speed as the suspect makes their way over to the store inside of our building. And notice how all of the clips are automatically being added and removed without me actually having to do anything. Everything on the timeline is automatic. And now as the suspect is actually starting to grab some of our merchandise, I can even slow it down. And you can even see here at half speed that the suspect is being bad. They're stealing some of our t-shirts. And notice as they walk through the store, how they are being tracked on the right-hand side of the map, where you can see their movements throughout your floor plan. And now as our person and suspect is continuing to take some things from our store, I'm going to go ahead and start to speed this up as they make their getaway. But also notice how all the cameras are automatically being added. Even our hidden pinhole camera just made an appearance into our timeline. And now as they go into a different floor, notice how the floor plan automatically changed as the cameras it detected were changing. And now as the suspect moves outside of the building, this continues past there. And now with the car, let me go ahead and pause it here. I can click on this car, and you can see that the car is automatically being added along with the license plate of that vehicle if you have a license plate reader on your facility. And now that the car is added automatically, I can actually watch it go away. You now have the three key pieces of information. You have the person, you have the car, you have the plate, and you have their entire journey all on one screen in one timeline. Let's hear it. In fact, let's give another round of applause to our engineering team who made this possible. This right here is a living timeline of the event as it unfolds. And when you're done, you can even save it as an incident to share with others or add additional evidence. Now, I know that that felt like magic. And it's powered not just by our amazing engineering team, but also by a combination of our advanced AI that we've been investing in for nearly a decade. At the core of this, of what makes this possible, is our new vision model. This goes beyond a simple face scan. Our models now analyze a face, clothing, and overall appearance to connect the dots from one camera to the next. So you might be asking, what does this mean for me? Well, even if you click on a person that is turned away from you, where you can't actually see their face, like the example that we had at the beginning, Our AI will use visual appearance to find the best clip of where their face is showing and use that to then run face detection and give you the best possible results with that single click. Pretty amazing, right? Now, I know what some of you are also going to ask me. You're going to say, what if I'm not actually allowed to use facial recognition? Do I miss out on this experience? Well, even if your organization is not allowed to use facial detection, the unified timeline is smart enough that it will still work for you. And this unified view extends beyond our four walls. You can now map your entire property. With devices like the new mobile security trailers that you just saw and LPR cameras on the edge of your perimeter, these are all automatically added and incorporated into our new AI timeline. The AI-powered unified timeline is incredibly powerful for investigations, but its real potential is unlocked when it works for you proactively. And the story of how we did this starts with all of you. You started using our AI search in ways that we couldn't even imagine. You were searching for delivery trucks and PPE compliance. We saw the usage, and we knew that we had something special. So we decided to double down. And the result are dozens of new AI alerts organized by your industry in this beautiful new UI. If it involves a person or a vehicle, we can now classify and detect it. Advanced AI is now simple, accessible, and tailored to your world with our new AI-powered industry alerts. Now, everything that I've shown you here today, and everything that you've seen from Verkada in the past, has revolved around analyzing a single image. We call these hyperzooms. And in fact, we process over 200 million of them every hour. And now, we are extending this to be able to group groups of images in order to do activity detection. We are starting with 2 new activity detections. The first is fall detection, to identify slip and falls, or even when medical emergencies where somebody collapses to the ground. And the second is climbing detection, to alert you the moment that somebody tries to scale your property. These 2 activity detections are just the beginning. This technology is the foundation for the next generation of proactive security, available for all of you to use in command our AI-powered activity detection. And as a special treat, because it's VerkadaOne, I'm going to give you a glimpse of where all of this is going. Now, early next year, we are going to be launching a beta for a feature that builds upon these core AI capabilities. We call it the AI-powered Incident Copilot. Now imagine this. Anytime that a slip and fall happens, the system won't just notify you. It'll automatically capture the event. And in this case, it looks like we have a person that is faking a slip and fall. The system will still capture those. It'll use our AI timeline to find all related clips of that person. It'll archive it automatically for you and package the entire story into a beautiful, shareable incident report, complete with AI-generated descriptions of everything that happened in that incident. This will save you hours. This is the future of physical security. Pretty cool, right? Now, I know that I've bombarded you with AI and AI. We've covered a ton of stuff here, but the takeaway is simple. This technology is going to change our industry forever, and the rate of progress is incredible. Here at Verkada, we are all in on this transformation. In fact, we want you to get even more out of your security cameras. So we're turning them into a source of real-time business intelligence. Today, on command, You can already see heat maps across your entire floor plans. You can see heat maps on individual cameras. And you can even view motion paths to understand how people move throughout your sites. And to give you even deeper insights, because a lot of you asked, today we are introducing our AI-powered queue and wait trends. With queue and wait trends, our platform can now automatically detect queues, count people in them, and calculate average wait times. This is a game changer for optimizing your checkout lines, for optimizing your patient experiences, or even your loading docks. And to bring in even deeper context, our Helix integrations engine brings in data from any of your third-party systems. It links it to the relevant video and makes it all instantly searchable inside of Command. And we're not stopping here. We're also adding alerts to Helix. You can now create custom, proactive alerts on any of your third-party data, notifying you the second that your business data needs your attention. And to help you see the bigger picture, we are going to introduce Helix dashboards so you can visualize trends and surface anomalies across your entire organization. And yes, I know some of you are asking, this also includes exception-based reporting. If you want to move from reactive investigation to proactive business strategy, check out our Helix integrations engine. Pretty powerful stuff. Now, whether you manage a single site or thousands of sites, we are making it easy for you to manage your fleet at scale with things like our new device analytics, which is your new command center for system health. And we're doing tons of these things, like adding scheduling to our firmware upgrade process, making managing thousands of devices as simple as managing one. But what about managing your response at scale? And I know that many of you have asked, how do I handle hundreds, if not thousands of alerts that are coming in across my sites? How can we connect intelligence to effective response? Well, in order to empower your physical security workforce, today we're introducing a brand new product in alerts and operations. This is your new hub for incident response. It takes your AI-powered detections and turns them into actionable, guided tasks for your operators. Want to see what it looks like? Yes. Let me show you in Command. All right, so we just launched this brand new experience inside of Command. On the left, we have all of the alerts as they come in. In the middle, you can go ahead and see that we have any media as well as any information that is associated to this ticket. And on the right, as soon as a ticket comes in, you'll see that we can see the SOPs, or the standard operating procedures for this individual ticket, for my operators or security guards to be able to go ahead and act on it. All right, so let's get started. Oh, we just saw a ticket come in. I can go ahead and immediately claim this ticket. I can go ahead and add some comments. I can even add some tags. And now the best part, I can even share it. Now, whether I have an email or even a phone number, I can go ahead and automatically share it to any individual that I choose to have this information. You can see that the text came in. It's now being viewed directly from their mobile device, and they get full access to everything on the ticket. And the best part about this is that security guard did not need to actually download their own app. Just simply from their browser, they were able to access all the information from here. And also, the security guard can actually go ahead and also upload an image directly from their phone, take it, and send it directly into Command. And now you'll see, there it is. The image just came into Command. I can add some comments, and I can close out the entire experience. All tracked, all audited. This right here, this closes the loop from automated detection to unified investigations to an auditable human response. And because we believe that this guided response is fundamental to modern security, Alerts and Operations is available to all of our customers at no additional charge. Can't wait for you guys to use that. Now, I know that I covered a lot in this session, but that was just a glimpse of the many features that we're using, leveraging the latest advances in AI. And I want you to leave with one main takeaway from all of this. AI is changing physical security forever. What you've seen today is just the beginning. These are the capabilities that will save you hundreds of hours, make your teams more efficient, and have your employees love using our system even more. We have laid the foundation for this future, and we are the platform that is going to deliver it. The future of security is intelligent, and it is being built by Verkada. Thank you.
I'm Manuel Castro, lead product manager on our cameras hardware. You just heard all about the incredible AI coming to Verkada's command platform. And now we're going to talk about the hardware to help you deploy that everywhere and anywhere. This is our cameras, and they're made more powerful thanks to connectivity. Our gateways help you get beyond your four walls. And with trailers, it's even easier to bring power and connectivity to more places. Well, what if we could put all that together? A camera, power, and connectivity into a single device. That would be so incredible, we'd need to showcase it. And what's the best way to showcase it? It'd be untethered. So why don't we just jump out of a plane? Maybe we'd need the Mission Impossible crew to help us do so. Well, that's what we did. Let's watch the film. Introducing CR63, our first remote deployment camera. With built-in battery, LTE, and 4K resolution, this brings the power of Verkada's AI anywhere. With our connectivity, we make it easy with Verkada's data plan. You can get up nationwide, or you can bring your own SIM. And with dual SIM support, Verkada's still got your back. And next, we have our built-in battery. Our battery is built to last, with up to 24 hours on a single charge. This is great for a temporary installation, like at a job site. But there's multiple ways to power this camera. You can use our AC pull tab. You can use our included adapters for DC or passive PoE. And you can use solar. And this is huge. This is going to let you be up year-round, everywhere. Whether you're in sunny California or the windy city of Chicago, you still got to last those winters, though. That's why we have our backup batteries, so you can weather any winter. And this is still a camera without compromise. And so it has all the things you expect out of our cameras. It streams 24/7. It has next-generation image sensor and SoC for onboard people and vehicle detections and LPR. And all of this is in a single camera at a great price, starting at $34.99. And if you need the full setup, you need the solar panel, the backup battery, the data plan, the camera. You can get all of that for a single package for under $7,000. In fact, Verkada will even sell you the pole. And all of this is going to be available this coming November. With Verkada's remote camera, you can get set up with AI anywhere you need it. Now, let's shift gears a little bit, and let's talk about public safety. In public safety, we're thrilled to announce NCIC integration. This helps our law enforcement officers be able to get real-time alerts on just their cameras in just their city related to license plates, related to serious crimes. And today, we're already live in 5 states, with support in 5 more, and applications out in 21. But we want to get to all 50 states, and so we need your help in the crowd. If there's a law enforcement agency that wants to help sponsor in your state, please get connected after the show. We'd love to get connected. And towards our FedRAMP, we're now thrilled to say we're FedRAMP in process. This is the last step before approval on our journey to FedRAMP moderate. Combined with our GovCloud and FIPS-validated cameras, it's an absolute honor to be able to serve our federal customers. And we do this with great responsibility, and we look forward to continuing to do so. Now, let's go back to hardware for one last thing. Well, it's actually more like 3 models. This is a camera that gives you multiple views, all from a single cable run. It's our fastest growing camera line. I know you're gonna love it. Let's take a look at our next generation multi-sensors. CH53 and CH63, our next generation 5MP and 4K multi-sensors, giving you expansive 360 degrees of coverage in so many more places. And we brought that same 4K resolution to our 2-cam multi-sensor line, so you can get even more details at entrances and hallways and everywhere you deploy this. But we made every component of our multi-sensor better. We redesigned it from the ground up. And so from the installation, now simpler and more secure, to a ruggedized design to last in any weather, to improved night mode, so you can get great image during the day and at night. And of course, our next generation image sensors and SoCs to power AI right on the camera. Our new multi-sensor lineup will be available this October 3rd. And this is our new camera family, with our multi-sensors giving you more coverage, and our remote series camera helping you get up in new places. This is a camera hardware portfolio that helps you get the power of Verkada AI anywhere and everywhere. Thank you all so much.
Now I got the world at my feet, 2 steps from the feet. I'ma shoot for the moon or the stars underneath. All the eyes look at me, I will make them believe. All the pain in my words from the grind in my teeth. Got the world at my feet.
Hello, everyone. I'm Grace Wang, the engineer manager of the workplace team. So excited to be back here on this stage to talk about Guest. Our Guest product is the first touch point with your customers and visitors. So far, 17,000 locations globally have used Guest product to check in over 23 million visitors. 23 million. That's almost 10 times of how many people live in Chicago. And to give all of your visitors a delightful check-in experience, last year, we launched Guest Pass. With a simple scan of the QR code, your visitors can quickly check into your buildings. We also launched Face Pass. When your visitors come back into your buildings, our system can recognize their face, know their name, and give them a VIP check-in experience. But for us, it's not just about convenience. It's also about keeping you safe. So far, globally, we have run 9 million security screenings. Among those, we stopped over 32,000 potential threats from entering your buildings. And many of those threats were stopped by using the deny list feature. I have a quick story to share from one of our hospital customers. A young mother who had just given birth told the hospital that a man had been harassing her. She even had a restraining order against him. So the hospital put his name to the deny list. And when the man tried to sign in to visit her, the system got a deny list match and denied his entry, keeping her and her baby safe. That's why the deny list is so important. This year, we have just given it a fresh new look. Now on this brand new deny list page, you can add or update profiles right here. We also added facial recognition to the deny list. You can now upload photos to these profiles. If they try to enter using a fake ID or fake name, we will still be able to catch them. And those photos you uploaded to the deny list, they will also be uploaded to your camera system. So you'll receive an alert if your camera spot them outside of the building. This incredible AI technology isn't just limited to the threats, but it also works with all of your approved visitors. All of their photos will also be automatically uploaded to your camera system. So you'll know where they went during their entire visit. You can also set up alerts if you don't want your visitors entering your restricted areas. This combination of guest and camera system is really powerful. I cannot wait for you to try it. Now, let's talk about guest and access control. At the beginning of this year, we combined guest and access control to work together during a roll call. So all of your visitors will also be accounted for during an emergency. And when an emergency involves kids and schools, every minute counts. We've seen how hard it is for schools to keep everyone calm when accounting for students and reuniting them with their parents. So this year, we've gone above and beyond to build this product to make school's life easier during these stressful moments. When we built this, we worked with the I Love You Guys Foundation. They are the experts in crisis response and parent-child reunification. We followed their guideline, the standard reunification method, when we were designing this product. Introducing incident response, an easy way for you to account for students and reuniting them with their parents. I want to give you a sneak peek of how it works. Let's pretend I'm a teacher, and I need to account for my students. I can type in this filter, my name Grace, and select my class. And here, I have all the students I'm teaching. And I can select Emily Danian, mark her as accounted for in the gym. And if I need to check in guardians, this is very similar to checking your normal visitors. I can type in the guardian's name, Margaret Danian. She's here to pick up Emily Danian. And finish, and she's already checked in. Now they're ready to be reunified. Here on this page, it's real-time updated. I can select their name, find Emily Danian in the gym, bring her to her parent, Margaret, and boom, they're reunified. I'm so proud of this important technology we built from scratch. And you know what? It comes for free for all guest customers. And next, I have one more thing to share. Inviting guests has never been easier. We have integrated with Google Calendar and Outlook Calendar. Now let me show you how it works. Here, I'm on my calendar, and I want to invite David Zai to VerkadaOne. And here, I have the Verkada guest, and I have the options to choose which site I want to invite him to, which guest type he is. And right here, our Verkada guest invitation has already been created. Now, you don't need to leave your Google Calendar or Outlook calendar page. Your Verkada guest invite has already been its way to your guests. Now, let's switch to David's phone. Great, here we have the invitation form. David, can you click register here? Enter your name. Click finish. Now, David Zai should be pre-registered. And here, there's a QR code. Can you add to your Apple Wallet? Great. Now you must be wondering, what is that QR code for? More importantly, who the heck is David Zai? Now, let's invite David Zai to the stage. And thank you very much.
If there's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! If there's something weird and it don't look good, who you gonna call?
I am David Zai, and I lead the intercom product here at Verkada. The core job of the intercom is to unlock doors for people without badges. This can be delivery people, visitors, or someone coming on stage for their biggest presentation of the year. I'll explain what happened there in just a second. For many, this all starts with an intercom call. And boy, do we make a lot of calls. Every day, our intercoms make over 250,000 calls. That's almost 3 calls every second, or about 107 calls since I got on stage. And fun fact, for more than 40% of these calls, the person answering the phone unlocks the door without ever picking up the phone. Now, why is that? Well, it's because we have an amazing camera that alongside nearby cameras gives you enough visual information for you to make that entry decision. The intercom really is the best camera for entryways because it catches faces as people come in and out, because it's mounted at eye level and used up close. And we don't have just any camera. It's also a fully featured Verkada security camera, complete with all the AI features that we just announced. In addition to a built-in camera, we also have an integrated badge reader, complete with all the technologies that we have, like intent-based Bluetooth unlock and mobile NFC for Apple and Android Wallet. And because our intercoms are installed at the most high traffic and high value doors, intercom readers see more than twice the number of badge scans compared to a normal door. We see intercoms outside of lobbies for offices, at school entrances to protect the most precious among us, at vehicle gates to manage entry for exit and exit for truck yards and parking garages, throughout hospitals to secure NICUs and maternity wards. We even see intercoms at self-storage centers to call customer service if you need after-hour support or to pay your bill. Last year, on this very stage, I stood before you and announced a complete refresh of our intercom product line. And I'm happy to report that it's been a smashing success. As you can see here, our new intercoms have completely and quickly outsold the prior generation. And in fact, I can say that our new intercoms are twice as popular as its predecessor. However, our journey is not complete. There are still other form factors needed to complete our portfolio. Introducing the TA43 audio intercom. The TA43 is our first audio-only intercom. It's designed for exceptional two-way sound. And without a camera or a reader, it's compact and fits nicely on a 2-gain junction box. We've also built it for durability, with all metal construction with a stainless steel faceplate and a cast iron body. It's IP69 and IK10 rated, which means this thing can take a beating. We've also made it louder, much louder. At 95 decibels, it's actually 40% louder than the current lineup. And if that's not enough, you can connect an external speaker for even more sound. And of course, we kept the same amazing beamforming microphone array that cancels out all sorts of background noise. We'll have many different ways to mount this product for all of your install needs. The TA43 will be available in 3 varieties. One with a standard black button, one with a red emergency button, and one with both. The TA43 will be available for purchase at the end of the year for $10.99. So that was hardware. Today, I also have some super exciting software updates. I think they really showcase how artificial intelligence is making dramatic improvements on our products. We'll cover how we're making the entry experience even easier, how we're making intercom calls more epic, and our first foray into voice interactivity. Let's start with the visitor experience. I got through this door with an invite from Grace. The mobile pass she sent me allowed me not only to unlock the door, but also to check in via Verkada Guest. And more importantly, I didn't use the guest iPad. I actually used the intercom itself to scan and let myself in. You heard that right. The world's most advanced AI intercom just got another powerful upgrade. All Verkada video intercoms can now scan and decode QR codes and barcodes. We believe that this will unlock many new workflows, and the first one I'd like to share with you is called Visit Key. Visit keys are a new way to grant entry to known visitors. Generate a temporary credential that can have limited access to certain doors at certain times. Visit keys are built around digital credentials that are easy to share and to use. No more managing physical key cards if someone's only coming to visit once. In addition to mobile passes, we also support unlock links and PIN codes and license plate where possible. We built Visit Keys because we believe that it should be easy to grant entry because oftentimes you know exactly who's coming and when they're coming. And we thought to ourselves, wouldn't it be great if we had a way to grant entry without them having to without someone having to pick up a phone, something that's super simple, convenient, and secure. Let me show you how it works. So let me hop back into Command. I'll come to Intercoms, Visit Keys here on the left. From here, I can see all of the visit keys that my organization has created. And so in this scenario, let's imagine that I have a special late night delivery, something urgent for VerkadaOne. And so let's go to Create. I'll select the main stage. And here, because I know there's just one delivery, I can have it set at one-time use so that the credential expires 5 minutes after scan. The start and end time look great. I'll be able to grant access via QR codes and PIN codes. And let's give it a name. Perfect. And then because the person who's come has been here before, I will, actually it's not Pizza Guy, sorry. This really is a live demo. Okay. I'll send it, and now Sergey will be able to get the email. And you can even see a preview of what that looks like. Sergey, if you want to come out. To make this more realistic, let's pretend that this site is armed by Verkada alarms. Because a lot of times, you have those late night deliveries, but you want to be careful not to create any false alarms. So let's go and arm the site. Beautiful. Okay. So now let's see what happens if Sergey uses that credential I just sent him. So as you can see here, Sergey was not only able to unlock the door, but also to make the delivery without tripping a false alarm. And so this is the power of Verkada. You have cameras, access control, intercoms, alarms, guests, all coming together to work in perfect harmony. Okay, so that was VisitKey. Go back to slides. Let me talk about how we're making the world's best intercom calling experience. Now, many of our customers are installing intercoms in noisy intersections. And in these scenarios, it's as important for the person outside to be able to hear as the person inside. And what we find is that many times, the receivers can vary a lot. And it can have different audio signals such that the output can be different. And that may be because the receiver is naturally soft-spoken, or maybe because the phone itself is quiet. And so the result is the sound coming out of the intercom can vary a lot. To fix this, we've implemented a new sophisticated automatic gain control algorithm that checks that the target volume is met 50 times every single second to make sure that every output and every receiver is equally loud. And to take this a step further, I'm excited to share a new feature called Volume Overdrive that'll sacrifice some audio quality for even more sound. This is the equivalent of turning that volume up to 11 because we know that every decibel matters. Next, many customers are using viewing station with intercoms as security cameras. However, when there's a call, you want to see exactly what's happening at the door and not just a camera in the grid. Today, I'm excited to share that intercoms can now trigger smart pages for you to be able to see exactly what's happening in real time. This will be perfect for operation centers, and in any case you want to monitor your current camera deployments. Last year at VerkadaOne, we also announced a major overhaul to how calling works. This gives you more natural sounding audio with wideband codecs like Opus, and also instant video load times. And today I'm excited to share that we've brought this upgraded way of calling to command on web browsers, which means that now all of our major calling clients support this new way of calling. But audio and video quality and those improvements were just the first step. This upgrade to our infrastructure also allowed us to build new AI features that were near impossible before. Let me show you what we're working on. Okay, so imagine you're someone who's hard of hearing, or maybe you're one of those people at home who always leaves the subtitles on. You know who you are. And so, have you ever thought to yourself, wouldn't it be great if I could see exactly what the person outside was saying? If I could add live subtitles to an intercom call? Well, now you can through a new feature called live captions. Let's take a look. Hey, Sergey, how's it going?
Hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Sergey, and I'm super excited to show you what we can do with our AI.
It's pretty cool, right? And so what if my favorite Russian engineer, Sergey, was a non-English speaker? What would happen then?
Hola, me llamo Sergey. Estoy aquí para una entrevista.
Sergey, I didn't know you spoke Spanish. Can you speak Russian for us?
Да, конечно. Мы можем говорить по-русски.
That's pretty cool, right? It's so crazy how fast AI has advanced, and we're working effortlessly or super hard to make sure that all of these features are built into Command in all of your different products. Yeah. And so now you're thinking to yourself, this is great. AI is moving super fast, but I still don't speak Spanish or Russian. You're probably thinking to yourself, I want to be able to hear Sergey in English. Well, now I'm excited to share that we have that capability with live translations with just a tap of a button.
And now, even if I'm going to talk in Russian, after all, you and I will be able to understand each other. And all this, thanks, incredible improvements to our artificial intelligence.
That was incredible. And so all of these features, live captions, will be available in November for DeskStation and PaaS and iOS, with support for Android and command calling coming later. Live translations will be available next year with a private beta starting next month. And lastly, let's talk about our first step in adding voice interactivity to intercoms. At Verkada, we believe there's so much potential for artificial intelligence, but we want to add it in a way that's tasteful, considered, and useful without feeling gimmicky. For intercoms, the natural way to interact is voice. And we believe the first great application of this is being able to tell the intercom who you're here to see and calling a specific tenant. Let me show you how it works. So I'll start by making a simple intercom call right here on the intercom on the door.
Welcome to VerkadaOne. How can I assist you today?
Hi, I'm here to visit Verkada.
Let me check the directory for you. I'll find the tenant information for Verkada. Give me just a moment. I've found a few tenants related to Verkada. We have Verkada Backstage, Verkada Breakout, and Verkada Main Stage. Could you let me know which one you're looking for? Or if you have a specific person you'd like to reach?
我没听懂你说的话，你能不能再说一次？
好的，我刚刚查到几个和 Verkada 相关的租户，有 Verkada Backstage、Verkada Breakout 和 Verkada Main Stage。您是要找哪一个？或者你有具体要联系的人吗？
I'm here, let's go back to English. I'm here to visit Philip. I don't know which tenant he's with, but can you connect me?
Sure, I can help with that. Philip is part of the tenant called Verkada Main Stage. I'll get you connected. First, I'll prepare the line.
And so that was incredible, right? Luckily, the demo gods were more patient with me and more grateful with me than some of the other demos that happened last week. And so you may be wondering to yourself, this is still all very new technology. How do we make sure that tenant calling, directory calling still works? Well, we have a backup way. Let's one more slide, perfect. We have a backup way to managing this. And it's called keypad directory, where now you can punch in a code to call the specific tenant or person you're here to visit. It will be available alongside AI voice directory for the TD63. So we've covered a lot today, from our new hardware, the TA43, to Visit Key, and many new AI features from live captions, live translations, and voice directory. I hope you're as excited about what intercoms is becoming and what the future of Verkada looks like. Thank you so much.
Good morning, I'm here with the delivery. I'm sorry, it's a little loud in here. Can you hear me okay? Copy that. I can hear you great. Come on in. Thanks.
Welcome back after the break. Hope you enjoyed the first part of the show. Now, before we get back into more demos, I have a surprise speaker today to talk a little bit about the broader AI industry. So it is my great pleasure to invite Konstantin Buehler, who's a partner at Sequoia Capital, arguably one of the leading investors in AI. Sequoia have invested in companies like OpenAI, NVIDIA, and Google, and of course have also supported us along our journey. Konstantin studied artificial intelligence back in school at Stanford and is now one of the key investors focused on the AI field. So with no further ado, please join me in giving a huge Verkada welcome to Konstantin Buehler.
Thank you, everyone, and good afternoon. My name is Konstantin Buehler. I'm a partner at Sequoia Capital, focused on artificial intelligence. Today, we're going to have 3 sections to the conversation. We'll talk a little bit about our AI investing thesis. We'll talk about, here we go, a couple of commercial suggestions that we have on where we're investing next, and then we'll tie it all together. But first, we'll talk about what we believe AI is akin to, which is the Industrial Revolution. At Sequoia Capital, we think that artificial intelligence is a transformation at the scale of the Industrial Revolution. And I'd like to point out 3 moments in time in the Industrial Revolution, in particular, the invention of the steam engine, which was 1702, the first factory, which was in 1769, and then the factory assembly line, which was in 1913. What's remarkable about this is the time in between those moments. 67 years between the invention of the steam engine and the first factory. And that first factory wasn't even powered by steam. It was powered by water. And then 144 years between the invention of the first factory and the first assembly line. So the question is, why? Why did it take so long to go from the fundamental technologies to the machines that actually created the tools that we use today? And frankly, what's going to be the equivalent in this cognitive revolution? We at Sequoia think it's because of something called the specialization imperative. Specifically, beyond a certain scale, for a complex system to mature, it must combine general purpose components and labor with highly specialized components and labor. So now we live in this era of a cognitive revolution. And it has taken about 17 years to go from the first GPU to the first AI factory. We use the term factory when all the composite parts are under the same hood. The question is, how do we go from that first AI factory to the cognitive assembly line? And how many years will that take? Well, we're not called Sequoia History, we're called Sequoia Capital. So let me get to the dollars and cents on what that's going to look like. So the pie chart on the top left is the software industry around 2010. That's when we started to identify that software as a service, cloud, what this conference is all about, is going to be very important. At the time, the software industry was about $350 billion, and about $6 billion of that was in the cloud. We predicted that cloud was going to grow, but what we got wrong was that the entire software pie was growing materially. Today, there's about $650 billion a year spent on software, and $400 billion of that is spent on cloud. So the cloud industry itself is larger than the entire software industry. In the AI revolution, we don't start with software. We start with something much, much bigger, and that's the services industry. That's a $10 trillion pie on the bottom there, 10 to the 13th. And that 20 slice is the 20 billion or so that we estimate AI currently automates. The 20 billion or so of services that are currently being automated by artificial intelligence. The question now becomes, how big does that AI automation opportunity grow? And at Sequoia, we believe it's a 10 to the 13th, tens of trillions of dollars opportunity. Now, we took that and we put it into action. We took some US Census Bureau data, and we looked at every single career in the US Census Bureau. We took the number of roles and then the wages of that role. We multiplied those together and we got annual wage for any given sector. What you'll notice is the biggest one is registered nurses. There's a lot of them and they get paid pretty significantly. That's a $284 billion a year role. Software developers, lawyers, and you'll see the chart filling out. We have begun to invest in each of these areas. If you look at the registered nurse space, companies like Open Evidence in our portfolio, in software developers, companies like Reflection, and in lawyers, companies like Harvey. The reality is each of these areas is going to be materially automated by AI in the decade to come. Now, this chart is a chart of market caps. So this is the S&P 500 by market cap and the one-year performance. So that NVIDIA rectangle over there is about 4 trillion or so of market cap, just to give you a sense of how big it is. And what you'll notice is there is a lot of companies on here, many of which are a trillion or more, but almost none of which come from that previous slide of services. Okay, you'll notice that there's a lot of software, there's a lot of hardware, there's a lot of peers, frankly, for Verkada, but there isn't a lot of services. You don't have Kirkland & Ellis, law firm. Okay, you don't have Baker Tilly, an accounting firm, even though those make billions of dollars in revenue every year. And our belief is that in the decade to come, you're going to have an expansion where that chart isn't going to just include the software and the hardware, but it's also going to include the automation of many services and the growth of many services. Now, I'm going to point out 2 things we've noticed about this transformation. The first is that while we go through this transformation, everybody's job changes. We call one of those changes leverage over uncertainty. And the definition of that for us is that we are moving from having minimal leverage with 100% certainty in the outcome to 100+% average leverage on a task and far less certainty on the exact manifestation of the outcome. Specifically, when you lived in the PC world, if you entered a number in, you'd get that exact number out the next day. But in the AI world, you're going to get so much more leverage because you're going to have AI tools monitoring and being aware and actually expanding the amount of work you can get done. But you will have to monitor those so that you actually have the same amount of certainty because of that human intervention. The second is that we have a dramatically new paradigm. We've actually seen the amount of data consumption grow precipitously. At some of the largest cloud providers, we've seen 50x consumption of data, 50x. You guys were talking about 200 million photos per hour here at Verkada. We've seen 50x year over year in a lot of this token production. And we predict that there's going to be a 1,000x or more data production increase in the next 5 years. So I'm going to share with you 5 concrete investment trends that we're looking at Sequoia over the next 18 months. Let me jump in with the first. Persistent memory. You all have used ChatGPT or Gemini, some AI assistant. And what you'll find is it's getting better and better and better. But one unsolved paradigm is it hasn't really been able to capture memory exceptionally well. And the fact that it hasn't been able to capture memory is testament that we actually haven't figured out AI memory. We've figured out a lot of reasoning. We've actually had breakthroughs, and we can find guy in blue shirt and black jeans pretty accurately. But if you wanted to reason over memory like we have as humans, it still has not been able to crack that frontier. That's an exciting new frontier, and frankly, all of you, by having the data that Verkada captures, have a leg up on that. The reality is the data you've stored is going to become more and more important in the AI future, and the more data you store, the more likely you'll be able to capitalize on that future. The second is seamless communication protocols. Earlier this year, there was a big protocol that came out called MCP, Model Context Protocol. It was a way for AIs to communicate with each other and with other software. This communication protocol was just the beginning. So a lot of people said it's the finish, but really it was just the starting gun. Think about when we came out with TCP/IP, a communication protocol near the beginning of the internet. That was the beginning, that was not the end. So we are just at the earliest stages of AIs being able to communicate with each other. And this is similar to what we were talking about when you saw all those integrations that Verkada is now putting out there. Basically, you want to have your AIs be able to communicate with each other because they'll be able to pass along information and make decisions more effectively. The third is AI voice, and I was incredibly impressed by the language demo today. But I picked AI voice instead of AI video because AI voice is totally in the present. We've all been dazzled by the VO and the Nano Banana, the Google models with video and images. But I guess that that's going to be a 2026 or 2027 mainstream opportunity. Right now is all about voice. We actually see that AI voice is perfect for implementing into products and using. It's the way that we communicate most frequently, and frankly, the more AI voice is built into your tools, the more you'll be ready for the AI future. Next is secure trust. So we live in a world where we've mostly, for most of history, been bound by physical security. In fact, that's what this conference is all about. But the reality is that in an AI future, we're going to need a lot more digital security in a few different ways. The first is actually securing the models, because you want to make sure that there aren't vulnerabilities introduced to these large language models. The second is actually securing the delivery, because you can actually have a lot of problems being inserted in the delivery mechanisms of those models. And the third is the end user. So if you're an end user and you might not be as technical, and an AI model suggests that you install something on terminal, that could be really problematic. We see a future where you're going to have AI models on each and every personal computer and each and every device, looking out for those behaviors and helping you prevent them from happening. In fact, we were talking about this at NVIDIA, and Jensen pointed out, Jensen Huang, the founder there, pointed out, he sees a future where, unlike in the physical world, where you might have one security expert for every 1,000 people, we might see a complete reversal in the AI world. You might have 1,000 AI security agents for every high quality, high impact AI agent. Why not? There's no physical constraints, and the costs are going down precipitously. Finally, AI in the physical world. So we have seen 2025 as the first year that really AI has made its way into the physical world. This is both for making physical devices, hardware devices, and for actually bringing AI into the physical world. You all have been way ahead of it in Verkada. You actually have devices in your physical world, but for most of the world, they're catching up, and a lot of this is robotics. We are seeing general purpose and specialized robotics getting really good for, frankly, the first time. Good enough that it can actually be shipped in production, good enough that it's actually getting work done. This is finally in its prime time. So these are a few of the investment trends that we believe you're going to see hitting their stride in the next 12 or 18 months. And our belief is that if we are able to take these, we're going to be able to move this cognitive revolution up. Instead of being decades or 144 years like the last one, we're going to be able to produce that cognitive version of an assembly line, producing the cognitive version of automobiles, textiles, in fewer years than was previously forecasted. Thank you, everyone, and it's a pleasure to be here with the Verkada team. Back to Verkada. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Before I get started, just wanted to ask, who's excited for Little John and Ludacris tomorrow night? Okay. My name is Ankush, and I'm the Director of Product Management for the Command team. And I'm excited to talk to you today about one thing, the admin experience. My team makes sure the admin experience is quick, easy, and fast. And this past year, we've had one specific focus, making sure that we help admins manage massive scale across their devices, their people, and their places. And so I'm going to talk to you today about how they manage scale across 3 different phases. First, we're going to talk about how some of our customers plan out thousands of devices. And next, how do they manage hundreds of different locations, all those places, devices, and people? And then finally, talk about how they integrate many systems so things just work. To bring this to life, I'm going to talk about a story for each of these phases and how we helped a customer scale. So let's start with the first part of any deployment, the planning phase. I'm going to talk about a story of OXXO Gas and how they unified their security operations at the national level. So OXXO, they're one of the largest gas station and convenience store chains in Mexico. To give you a sense of that, last year they sold over 400 million barrels of gasoline. Like, imagine, if you were to put that all in one oil tanker, it would stretch around the entire equator. That's a lot of gas. And so they sold all that gas at 670 different stations across Mexico, but they had a Frankenstein setup of systems, and they wanted to standardize on one security platform. And so they did the math. They would need over 25,000 devices. Think about that scale. It's 200 pallets, enough to cover an entire basketball court. And so we worked really closely with the head of OXXO Security to plan this all out. And this was a ton of work. And so, like with many customers, it starts just with one floor plan. But then as we were working with them in all these stations, we quickly realized they had hundreds of custom configurations. And then on top of that, they now need to map out thousands of devices. What a pain, right? How are they going to get all that work done? Well, it gives me a lot of excitement to announce Site Planner. Site Planner is the best way to map out any Verkada deployment. You can quickly add a location, upload a plan, and plot any Verkada product, accessory, or license. From there, you can collaborate in real time, go on site, and confirm every detail. But enough talk, let me do a quick demo to show you what it's about. All right, so I'm here right outside of Mexico City, and I've already created my first location and uploaded my floor plan. So let's zoom in. All right, so here's our gas station. We have a row of pumps at the top, bottom, and then our convenience store in the center. But let's zoom out a little bit and get an easier view by switching to road map mode. Okay, great. Now I can kind of get my orientation around the road and where the shop is. So the first part, let's say of setting up some cameras, is getting a realistic field of view for the location. So I've already gone ahead and added all my walls. So you can see here, I've added all these walls, but it's very simple to just click and add a new wall, and it snaps to grid and connects like that. And so what that allows me to do now is really easily look at the real field of view of my cameras. You can see here, we can see the real-time occlusion of the field of view. So let's just say I'm going to set up something simple. Let's just start with the snack aisles and make sure we have coverage. So I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to rotate this the other way. But really, this looks like a little bit excessive in terms of the coverage. So let me go in and quickly get a better model. There we go. That looks a little bit more accurate. Now I'm just going to quickly select these and add some accessories. I need one mount. I need one extended cloud backup. Perfect. And now I want to copy and paste this configuration down the different areas. There you go. So pretty quickly, I've added a variety of cameras. And you see it here on the right. I've now got all my hardware, licensing, and add-ons automatically added. But let's just say we just want to do a quick rest of the setup. I'm going to add some doors for the staff-only areas. I'm going to put my ACU in the utility closet. And I want to also add some sensors to make sure that nobody is smoking in the bathroom. There we go. One here in this restroom and one here. So again, pretty quickly, I've been able to set this all up and get my floor plan going. So let's fast forward a little bit. What does this look like when it's fully set up? And so here I have an example of the floor plan now fully mapped out. All of the gas pumps, the entire interior, and even the front and back doors are fully covered. And so at this point, I'm ready to now share this with my team, get real-time feedback from them. And so I just go back to the top-level project. I can see everything I've added throughout my little planning, and I can share directly with people.
And so here, I'm gonna share it with my teammate, Marcus. I'm also gonna share it with a contractor that I'm working with. And even if they are external, they will also get that. And there you go. That's just a quick demo of Site Planner. And so I want everyone to know, everything you just saw, it's gonna be live October 9th in every command org, but every single product announced today on stage will be live and available to use in Site Planner. So now the planning phase is complete, and it's time to set up and manage all of your devices and people in command. So I'm gonna tell you about a huge manufacturing customer and how big of a challenge this was for them. So you know your lights, outlets, even your electrical cables your handyman uses, there's a good chance this manufacturer made them. It's just one of the thousands of lighting products that they make in the US. And so in terms of housing all of that inventory, they have 50 different warehouses as part of their supply chain. But each of these warehouses, they need different pieces of security and different operations, and that means they have 50 different budgets. And so, as with a lot of our customers, things start small. They started with just 2 sites, one in New York and one in South Carolina. And this wasn't that bad, because even though they had different budgets, it was only 2, so they saw no issues. But quickly, they scaled up their use of Verkada to more locations. And this became even more pressing of an issue as they were mixing all their budgets together. And so that's why we have now built license groups. License groups allows you to manage your budgets independently for each location. From this new dashboard, you can see it all. You can see your licenses, you can see your devices, you can look at all your different renewals, and this scales up to thousands of different locations. But it's not just about visibility. We want to make our admins autonomous when it comes to this. And so we added a couple additional features. You can create all your groups automatically from your existing site structure, which allows you to manage things in bulk. You can move licenses on your own and split licenses to make sure you have the proper allocation. And you can easily move devices into each group, making sure that you are compliant. And so I just want to say, now you can have one command org with multiple budgets and different renewal dates. So let's hear a round of applause for that. We know that this is going to allow some of our largest customers scale easier with Verkada. But it's not just about different budgets for each warehouse. There's different teams at each of these locations. Separate admins, employees, contractors, and we want to make sure that this scales for them as well. So to give you a sense of it, across these 50 warehouses, they have nearly 20,000 people entering and exiting these buildings. And they all need access to different buildings, different spaces within those buildings at different times. And that's why I'm excited to announce user directories. User directories allows you to bucket your users, groups, and admins per location. And so to give a simple example of the problem this solves, in today's world, before user directories, you might have an admin, and they can see and do everything in command. And this has been a big problem for our customers that want to have more control. But after user directories, you can have an admin scoped over each of your locations. This allows you to more responsibly delegate admin rights, both to command and for access control for delegating door access permissions. And so we know that license groups and user directories will help some of our biggest customers manage their devices and people at scale with Verkada. And finally, we know your security systems, they don't live in isolation. And so I'm going to tell you a story about UC Berkeley's International Student House and how we help them integrate their systems for a better student experience. And so UC Berkeley's International Student House, they have over 600 students from all over the world, but they were having major problems with their access control system. Their students were getting locked out of their dorm up to 15 times a day. And why was this happening? Well, they just had many disconnected systems that just didn't talk to one another. And that meant they had manual and slow processes to deal with these issues. And so here's a brief system map. They had their employee data in Microsoft, student data in their internal systems in Google, and their current AC system forced students to carry multiple keys just to enter the building and their rooms. They would lose them all the time, and this would cause security to get a variety of escalations and notifications everywhere. And so the first part to make this easier is getting that people data into command. And so the way we do that today is through SCIM support. And we support Microsoft and Okta. If you don't know what SCIM is, it's basically the tech that syncs your users between your corporate apps. And today, through SCIM, we have over 600,000 users managed through it. But we know we've been missing one major platform. That's why I'm excited to announce we now support Google Workspace. This allows you to auto-provision your users through this integration into command. And we know for schools like Berkeley, this will remove a lot of that manual data work. But Berkeley wanted to go even further. So let me show you how we help them integrate all of their systems together. So as I said, the first step, integrating their student and employee data into command. This alone reduced their overall manual data tasks by over 40%. From there, using integrated access control and guest, they were able to allow students to access their dorms immediately upon arrival. And this reduced those lockouts by 93%. And finally, their notifications were integrated for real-time response, and they use our new integration with Microsoft Teams. And this is where their security teams already work. Well, I hope admins are excited by everything I announced. It's my team's job to make yours easier. You folks are all the heroes that make these security operations run smoothly. And so I just want to give a round of applause for all 165,000 of you out there. Thank you.
Just a young gun with a quick fuse. I was uptight, wanna let loose. I was dreaming of bigger things and wanna leave my old life behind.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew Bowers, and I work on alarms. You know, I've been working in Silicon Valley for a long time, including almost 17 years at a large search and AI company that rhymes with Google. And you know, I have to say, this is some of the most exciting stuff I've ever worked on, because we're using technology to protect your people and your places. So let me ask you a question. How many of you have had to deal with a situation like this? You have a fence, and you have people climbing over it, and you really don't want that to happen. Or maybe you have a business, and you're worried about people coming in after hours, causing property damage or stealing things. Or maybe you have a disgruntled employee, and you want to be able to handle a dress situation. Now, I have to say, this one we had to do about 8 times because there's not enough disgruntledness in a Verkada employee to stage it. But we ultimately kind of got there. It looked pretty good. Good acting. Now, each of these are different. And sorry, you didn't get to see the break-in in the second one. But the key theme here is you want to be able to detect and respond in real time. And that's where Verkada alarms come into the picture. Last fall, we announced a ground-up rewrite of our alarms product line. It's a hybrid system that's resilient to network outages, but gives you the full power of cloud-managed software. Integrates natively with Verkada cameras and access control. And importantly, it puts you, the customer, in control of managing day-to-day operations like key codes or schedules. When an incident occurs, we put information at your fingertips, including what actually triggered the alarm, live video feeds, and even who else from your organization is viewing the incident. We also built our own software for the monitoring center. This gives our operators a view into what custom rules you've set up for your video, a timeline of activity that's occurring during the alarm, and a view across cameras so they can communicate that to you or, if necessary, to the authorities. And importantly, a view that's happening just during the alarm so we protect your privacy. Now, this integrated approach has allowed us to reduce our average response time from previously 50 seconds down to just 6 seconds. It's pretty incredible.
We are constantly working to improve the system, and we've introduced a ton of features this year, and we're not slowing down, so I want to share a few more things we're working on. I want to start with hardware. So this here is our BP52 alarm panel. It is packed with features. 32 wired zones, 4 PoE ports, 2 relay outputs, up to 1,200 watt hours of battery. It's a beast, as you can tell. I maybe need to work out a little bit too, but separate. It works great in warehouses and distribution centers. Expands up to 160 wired zones. It works great in schools. Integrates natively with Verkada access control all over the local area network. Again, resilient to network outages. But I will admit, it is a little bit of overkill if all I want is one sensor. We've heard your feedback, we understand, and that's why we will soon be introducing the BP32. This is our, yeah. Give it up for an alarm panel. It's awesome. It's our wireless plug-and-play alarm panel. You simply plug it into the network. It's got an integrated battery and integrated LTE already built in. We're also refreshing our line of wireless sensors, making them more performant and handle more things that you can throw at them. All of this will start shipping in mid-November. And with it, we now have a portfolio of hardware devices and alarms that span everything from a small retail pop-up to a large distribution center and everything in between. And we're so confident that this hardware is the future of alarms here at Verkada that we want you to have it. And that includes those of you who bought the previous system. So we're offering a free upgrade to all classic alarms customers to the new system. And what that means is we'll give you the hardware for free, and we'll even go one step further, and we'll offer to offset the install cost. So this is pretty exciting. Now, I want to talk, that's a little bit of the hardware. I'll move our panel out of the way here. Let's talk about software as well. Now, if we could, we'd all have someone watching over our sites, our businesses, our organizations 24/7 a day. But that's previously it's been pretty unrealistic. But you know what? It's coming into view thanks to, you know what I'm going to say, right? AI. That's right. I asked them to make it a little bigger, and boy, they delivered. So in the context of alarms, AI it helps us with arming and disarming. It helps us with verifying if an event is true or not. It even helps us with deterrence. So because you're here at VerkadaOne, we want to give you a sneak peek into what we're working on. Let's start with a very kind of commonplace scenario, but we hear it a lot from customers, a big pain point, closing time. Now, it's a pain to get employees to set an alarm system on a routine basis. So we have schedules. This allows you to put an alarm system on autopilot. But what we find is customers move the schedule further and further back into the evening because they don't know when people are going to leave. That's why we'll soon be introducing a feature called Smart Schedules. And what this does is it's using the cameras, the sensors, things that are already there that know what's going on right around closing time. And if there's activity, we'll simply move the arm time back a little bit, wait for people to leave, and then arm the system. So this means you can move your schedule earlier, keep your site protected, but not have to worry about false alarms. It's a small thing, but has a big impact for sure. And we've seen it working really well in testing. Now, speaking of things that have problems with schedules, another common pain point I hear: deliveries, cleaning crews, security guards. You don't know exactly when they're going to happen or how long they'll be there. And so what this means is people just leave their sites disarmed. And again, you're then unprotected. But while these things don't have predictable schedules, they do have a visual pattern. And AI is very good at patterns. So we want to use it to be able to automatically detect these events and disarm for the duration of that activity. Let me show you how we're approaching this. So you'll simply tell the system, the alarm system, what your activity looks like, your deliveries, your cleaning crews, your security guards, using footage from your actual cameras. Then when the system is armed and activity is detected, we can compare that activity to what you've told the system, and then if there's a match, we can automatically disarm the system for the duration of the activity. Again, the system is doing more for you automatically while keeping you protected. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is deterrence. As you know, many incidents are crimes of opportunity. And if we can engage with that person, deter the casual criminal, that's a win. You can do this today with talk-down speakers, but that requires someone to be on a camera, be on a horn, talk down to someone. That can be time-consuming and costly. We want to use AI to do this for you automatically. Let me show you what that's looking like. So I'm going to go over to the demo computer here, and I've got a camera set up on stage. And I've set up an area that I want to protect, right over here. And imagine it's late at night. People generally shouldn't be there. Let me show you what happens when I walk into that area.
The store is closed right now. Please come back when it is open.
So if we can switch back to slides, we've started off with a casual, courteous message, something that you set up as a customer and define, whatever you want it to be. But what happens if I stay here? Well, we don't want to just play that message over, right? It would kind of be, people would understand what this is and just stay around. No, we want to have more impact. We want to escalate up, and we do that by personalizing the message. So right now, the camera's looking at me, what I'm doing, what I'm wearing, and creating a personalized message so that we can escalate up to that next step.
You in the blue jacket and glasses, leave now, or else we will call the police.
That gets my attention, right? Knows I've got a jacket on, I'm wearing glasses, and even if I think it's automated, it's kind of creepy and I kind of want to leave. I know I'm being recorded. But I may not even know that it's automated because we're working hard to make the voice sound very realistic. And as Konstantin mentioned, AI voice is getting very good. We've even focused on making it a little bit, surly, annoyed, apathetic, whatever you call it, so that it sounds like a real person. Now, if I didn't leave, let me show you this in testing.
Flannel near the bike. You with the gray jacket and cart. You in the cap with the spray cans. You with the giant hot dog.
Sometimes you just want to see what happens. We don't know what happens after hours at your business. So if I didn't leave, of course, we can continue to escalate up. Now, I've spared your ears that step in the process, but we have other means. The important thing is, though, as I walk away, too, the system will automatically de-escalate. So if someone leaves, we de-escalate. The key point is here is we're handling the situation for you. You can go on, have dinner, sleep through the night, and not have to worry about it. But you can review the footage the next day. And that's a general theme across all of this. We're moving from reactive alarms to proactive protection. And you won't really find this in any traditional alarm system. This is a very Verkada approach, and we believe it's the future. Proactively protecting your people and places. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name's Jake Lightling, and I'm the Senior Director of Product for Access Control. And it looks like my video has not played, but that's okay. Oh, there it is. Do we want to? Let's watch it. All right, thank you for indulging me. So, Verkada Access Control just turned 5 years old, and we are moving at the speed of light. We're now providing access control for 4 million users, and we're unlocking doors over 7 million times every single day. And we are not slowing down. I am thrilled to be here today to tell you about our most advanced product updates ever. and they fall into 3 categories. The first, making it easier than ever to deploy digital access control to every single door. The second, helping our customers harness even more value from their access control data. And the third, the power of a deeply integrated AI video security system with access control. So let's kick things off with making it easier than ever to deploy digital access to every door. And for these announcements, it's my pleasure to introduce Lead Product Manager Mihiran Singh.
Thank you, Jake. For years, organizations have had a tough time getting to a digital 100% end-to-end access control system. Why? Because there's a ton of wiring involved between the IDF, where your access control panel lives, and the door. You have to wire up the door strike, the card reader, the door position indicator, and the request to exit device. For doors that do not have this electrification in place, this process can be both time and labor intensive, adding costs. Pulling cables, installing electrical hinges, putting strikes on door. This process is complex, and this complexity gets even worse if the building is old or if the walls are made of concrete. We build these devices, and even for us, this takes time. What happens as a result is that interior doors are often neglected and stay on lock and key even if they are critical for security. And we know lock and key security is outdated, with keys easily lost and copied. Admins have no visibility into who accessed that door and when this door was opened. There has got to be a better way, and now we have the answer. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Verkada wireless lock. Our lock allows you to replace existing lock and key systems with a smart connected device. Being a battery-powered device, you can get this installed without any of that complex wiring we just spoke about. That's me installing the door. Let's see how long it takes. Now, I've installed a ton of these devices during development, so I'm relatively quick. 6 minutes, 50 seconds. But you get the point. It's an order of magnitude faster than electrifying a door. So this isn't just a new device. It's our commitment to you to bring access control to every single door in your building. Let's talk some features. Our door is built for command. From management to putting it up, to getting status alerts, everything can be done in a single pane of glass. Our lock connects wirelessly with V-Link. With it, you can connect devices up to 150 feet in regular environments and over 2,000 feet line of sight. Our lock has a built-in door reader with all of our credentials, including Apple Wallet and Bluetooth with intent. And our lock has built-in sensors. Why are these important? People find creative ways to keep locked doors unlocked. People can get pretty creative. With our door, you get a built-in door position indicator and a built-in latch bolt monitor. So you as the administrator can get an alert when the door is not closed, not locked, and an all-new, not latched. The next thing to know about our lock is that it's always online. So administrators can issue a lockdown from anywhere in the world, and within 5 seconds, the lock will go into a lockdown with a flashing red light on both the exterior and interior of the door. So sitting inside a room, I can know when the building is in lockdown. As you can see, our lock is everything a wired access control system offers, and so much more, all without electrifying the door and the complexity that goes with it. The use cases can go from simple convenience to life-saving. In classrooms, school leaders can issue a lockdown with one click across an entire school district. One click. Teachers and students inside the room know that the school is in lockdown when they see the flashing lights. And in higher education, if any one of us knows a college-age kid, we know they can be forgetful. But the one thing they'll never forget, that's right, it's their phone. Stumble home at 3 a.m., you can get in through the door with just your phone. And in senior living, we know with age, residents lose mobility and the ability to use keys. With our door, they can get in with ease. And in the corporate world, so many of us are used to carrying badges to get in through the front door, but so many of us need to carry keys to get in through those interior doors. With our lock, one credential for all your doors. Now, the next thing that I wanted to speak about was just how robust this lock is. Let's take a look. As you can imagine, our marketing team was pretty excited to show this to Philip, and this is the exact Slack message they sent. Good news is, we blasted it 20 times, and it still worked fine. Now, don't worry, we don't offset all our product testing to the marketing team. We do some ourselves. This lock is tested for the ANSI Grade 1 standard. We've cycled the lock over 1 million times, and it still works. We've sprayed it with high-pressure water, no damage. And we've even taken a sledgehammer to the door. This isn't just about meeting expectations, it's about exceeding them to give you complete confidence. And that allows us to put a 10-year warranty on these devices. The Verkada wireless lock will ship in both cylindrical and mortise SKUs with pre-orders starting later this month. So there you have it, folks, the Verkada wireless lock. Speaking personally, this lock is a culmination of many, many months of our team's work. It furthers the company's mission to protect people and property. We're excited to share this with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mihiran. We are so excited to introduce the Verkada wireless lock into our access control ecosystem. Now, let's change gears and talk about how we're helping our customers harness their access control data. Our customers are collecting an incredible amount of data at the door. Every event, from an access denied to an access granted to an AI detection of tailgating, is recorded and stored on our access controllers and in command. And we put this data at your fingertips with reports where you can search, filter, and export those events, and alerts so that the right people can get a notification whenever human attention is needed. And now I'm excited to announce a brand new feature to give you even more value from your access control data. Introducing Attendance Analytics. This is a feature worth clapping for. We've been beta testing this with customers, and they love it. It gives you aggregated and fine-grained data on which of your employees are badging into which locations at what times. One of our beta customers found out that they were ordering 30% too much food on Mondays, and now they're saving tens of thousands of dollars and reducing waste. Another beta customer found out that one of their departments had developed an informal, unsanctioned work-from-home Fridays tradition, and they were able to address that. Attendance Analytics is rolling out to all of our customers at no extra cost this October. Now, moving on to our final chapter, the power of deeply integrated AI video security with access control. A camera and a door is an incredibly powerful combination. The cameras can give you live footage so you know exactly what's going on at your entryways at any point in time from multiple angles. And when you're performing an investigation, The camera can give you historical footage whenever there's an event at the door. Now we're taking the power of this integration and bringing it to the camera viewer to give you augmented reality with a new feature that we call door shortcuts. So what exactly are shortcuts? Well, last year, we launched a new feature called camera shortcuts, so that when you're looking at a camera feed, you can instantly see the simultaneous footage of any related camera. Now with door shortcuts, when you're looking at that feed, you can instantly bring into view the live context of any of your entryways, with access control events populating in real time and the ability to remote unlock with just a click. In the history viewer, door shortcuts give you a view into what happened at the door at the period of time that you're reviewing, giving you superpowers whenever you're conducting an investigation. Door shortcuts are just the latest feature we're introducing to bring you software controllability and interactivity to all of your physical spaces and to prepare them for the latest AI innovations. And this feature is rolling out at no extra cost to all of our customers in it, you guessed it, October. Door shortcuts are a feature of a door that's completely secured with Verkada. You have a badge reader for authenticating users and an access controller for making decisions about access and unlocking the door. And of course, you have a state-of-the-art AI-powered security camera from Verkada. This door is unbelievably secure, but you've had to install 3 separate devices to achieve this security. What if I told you you could achieve it with just one single PoE-powered device? Introducing the AF64 Access Station Pro for all-in-one, state-of-the-art entryway security. This device has it all. It has an integrated badge reader with Verkada's industry-leading badge reader technology. It can read all of the mobile credentials and the physical credentials that our 8034, 8064, and now our wireless locks can read. The 5.5-inch touchscreen absolutely glows with 1,000 nits of brightness that looks fantastic indoors and outdoors, even in direct sunlight. The display is smooth and responsive with animations playing at full 60 frames per second. The Access Station Pro has a built-in single-door access controller, so it can connect directly to a door to control it. Or, if you already have access control at a door and are looking to upgrade, now you can add the Access Station Pro. It will seamlessly communicate with the existing access controller, either over the local network or through direct wiring like OSDP or Wiegand. The Access Station Pro has a full-powered 5-megapixel wide-angle Verkada camera that gives you incredible footage at the entryway. And because the device is mounted right next to the door, it can give you a comprehensive view of every person who's accessing your physical space. The Access Station Pro has half a terabyte of on-device storage, giving you a month of high-quality video retention. And it has all of the AI capabilities of Verkada's latest generation cameras. So all of those features that Abraham told you about, like activity detection and the AI-powered unified timeline, all of those come with the Access Station Pro. The Access Station Pro has it all. This is the most premium access control experience we've ever launched. Now, if you've been following along closely, I bet you have a question. You're probably wondering, okay, here's this new device. It's got a camera, it's got a badge reader, it's got AI. Couldn't it just recognize you when you walk up to the door and let you in? Well, turns out we had the exact same idea. Give it up for Face Unlock. In our lifetimes, facial authentication has gone from something that we only see in science fiction movies to a technology that we all use every single day to unlock our smartphones and to access our most secure applications. And with the Access Station Pro, Verkada is bringing this technology to entryway security. Because you've come all this way to be here at our conference, we want to peel back the curtain and give you a special look at the technology that powers Face Unlock. And to give you this look, it's my pleasure to introduce Divya Gupta, product manager for the Access Station Pro and an expert in biometric authentication. Give it up for Divya.
Thanks, Jake. Face Unlock lets you access a door using the one credential you'll never lose or forget, your face. Once you're enrolled in the system, you can simply walk up to the door and instantly get access. How cool is that? So how does Verkada's advanced AI make it possible to use your face as the key to a door? Let's break it down. As you walk up, the 5-megapixel camera on the AF64 captures a photo of your face. Facial recognition AI converts this photo into a numerical code which uniquely represents you. This code is compared to all users in the system to precisely match you and verify your access. And this whole process happens entirely on the device, so it's lightning fast. But that's not all. The AF64 has advanced anti-spoofing technology that prevents an impersonator from holding up a photo or even wearing a mask of an actual user and getting in. In order to do this, the AF64 uses a special technology called indirect time-of-flight. It sends out pulses of infrared light at multiple frequencies that safely bounce off a user's face and back into a high-resolution sensor. This creates a 3D map of a user's face, which is fed into an AI model to verify that it's real. Only then does it grant access to the door. Let's check this out in action, shall we? Jake is going to come out and take a video of me and try to trick the AF64 into letting him in. Let's see what happens. Nice try, Jake. As you can see, the AF64 intelligently detects a spoofing attempt and does not let him in. And that is Face Unlock in a nutshell. Smart, seamless, and secure. Thank you. Back to you, Jake.
Thank you, Divya. With the Access Station Pro, Verkada is making it easier than ever before to bring biometric authentication to your physical security. Whether it's your first device or your 1000th, just plug it into Ethernet, the Access Station Pro will connect seamlessly to the Verkada cloud, and now you can easily manage facial recognition for your entire organization in a single pane of glass. It's perfect for any entryway requiring security, efficiency, and convenience. It's an excellent choice for the high-security data center, where you want a technician to authenticate with their face, as well as a second factor, like a badge or a PIN. It's fantastic for the high-throughput turnstile, where you need to securely authenticate a huge number of people in barely any time. And it's a great choice for any modern corporate office looking to elevate the entryway experience with the most convenient unlock possible. Pricing for the Access Station Pro is also easy. The device has an MSRP of $15.99 and an annual software license of $249. There you have it, the Access Station Pro for all-in-one state-of-the-art entryway security. We're so excited for you to check it out. We've got one on the attendee hub downstairs for you to see live and in action, and pre-orders will open up later this year. I hope you enjoyed these updates. Thank you very much.
I hope you enjoyed the show so far today. It's pretty incredible to see just how much progress we're making and how much the industry is moving forward in the last couple of months. Lots and lots of software work, releases, AI model improvements went into all of the advances that you've seen today. And I think with that, it is safe to say that all of us here today are advancing our joint mission of protecting people and places, and doing so in a privacy-sensitive way, and doing so with the help of the latest and greatest in AI. So with this, please join me in a huge round of applause for our engineering team all around the world building all of this stuff.